My color is Indo-Caribbean. Brown is such a complex color. To me, it doesn't even begin to explain who I am or where I come from. For a long time, I didn't have any of those answers either. I didn't understand the hyphenated identity, the gold draped in my body, the music in my hips, the long hair thick like sugarcane. I was always searching, hoping one day it would fall from the sky, loud and clear like Tassa drums. I wouldn't miss it. My shade of brown is somewhere between chocolate and mocha, coffee and earth. You can feel 200 years of history between your hands when you hold it. You can hear the old and ancient languages, smell the food in huts and barracks, the hot breeze shaking bushes and palms, the bangles jingling on slim wrists. My shade of brown is called Indo-Caribbean. To be Indo-Caribbean is to understand that people may never fully understand me. Questions like, what are you? And if you're a Caribbean, why do you look Indian? Would bother me more than I knew. Comments like, brown is Indian, so you're basically black, or, but you still look Indian, would invalidate my identity, making me question myself even more. I'd feel frustrated, confused, and angry that no one had heard of Trinidad or thought Guyana was Ghana. No matter how many times I'd explain, it was never enough to prove myself to be who I said I was. They wanted to put me in a box labeled brown, making it easy to distinguish who I was without much thought. I didn't understand my brown either. To be Indo-Caribbean is to understand my history. My ancestors were indentured laborers from India, lured by the British to keep their empire strong. Tempted by land and riches in search of lives away from poverty, abuse, and unhappy marriages. They wanted a better life. Isn't that usually the case? They called us coolies. Unskilled workers hired for low wages, a word that would sting even centuries later, reminding us of our place once upon a time. Still, we got on the ships, the Hesperus, the Whitby, the Fatel Razak, crossing the Kalapani, or dark waters as they called it, with only their Jahaji for support into the unknown. To be Indo-Caribbean is to understand that I'll always have questions. Some may never be answered. So much of our history was undocumented, destroyed, or passed down orally through ancestors long gone. I will constantly navigate the space between grief and gratitude. Family members missing from the puzzle. A grandfather I've never met. A grandmother in heaven. I regret not asking questions. Some of my family came from Uttar Pradesh in 1806, others from Punjab. Some were branded with numbers. My great-grandfather had no last name. His name, Ramcharan, he gave to his family. My great-great-grandmother had indigenous roots, Arawak and Carib, the original people to walk on Caribbean soil. The women had beautiful names like Sonia, Anari, and Lakia. Why did they sign contracts they couldn't understand? What surnames got lost in the years abroad? 150 years later, I'm asking questions that nobody knows the answers to. But to be Indo-Caribbean is to understand that your riches are in culture, and the faces that surround you every day. I'm reminded of our Trinidadian lineage by my mom's light skin, butterscotch in color. I'm reminded of the dear land of Guyana by my dad's skin, mocha in color. The creases of my skin are a reminder of hard work, of the skin before me, my mother, and my grandmother, those who sacrificed so we could gain. I listen to chutney, hearing Hindi lyrics I may never understand, but I can sing and dance anyway. I can call my grandma and play Kaise Bani for her, a favorite song that she'll sing through the phone. I can play soca and tassa, wind my waist like it's nobody's business, have curry and choka, doubles and chow, roti with anything because it's fucking delicious. To be Indo-Caribbean is to understand that I'm constantly learning and searching. I will continue to document and study and question, create representation and resources, deal with this identity crisis if it means my children won't have to. Take pride in who I am because I couldn't always do that. To be Indo-Caribbean is to understand that my eyes have seen different lands, from India to the Caribbean to Canada. I hope to set my toes back into Caribbean soil before my body returns to the earth, returning me to familiar and unfamiliar faces I've longed to see.